Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 College National Championships here in Midland, Michigan. Quarterfinals 2, whatever that means. I have two commentators this time, not just myself here. Introduce yourself. Crap, your mic's not on. There we go. There we go. Make sure yours is up too.
I am Sunny
Here we
from
go.
Navy Curling. Go Navy, and thank you to all the people in the comment section supporting Lorraine, Kimberly. We see you guys. Thank you.
And you?
And my name is Mallory. I'm the skip for Penn State this weekend. Really excited to commentate here on this game of the playoffs.
We're looking forward to a interesting one as well. Harvard versus RPI here on B, our feature sheet. We'll still be bouncing around to other sheets as necessary here. Starting things off with a solid guard here. 2-3 it looks like.
I want to say props to all of these college curlers. That they have been playing nonstop pretty much since Thursday all the way until today. So that's pretty much more games than typical bonspiels during college season.
Yeah, practice was 4 games each team, right?
It was. Yes,
or,
was.
Yeah.
All 4 sheets. Just going rotating all through all of them. And I know at least I could say for Navy, we're feeling some fatigue. So the fact that a lot of these teams have been playing this well, even going this long,
right,
really says something.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, as the Nationals weekend moves forward, that everybody, despite the fatigue, is actually just getting better each and every game. So really excited to see some awesome play out here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Just as a reminder, sheets A and D are also being streamed on the YouTube, just without commentary, but you'll be able to see those houses a lot better. So just look on the Midland Curling Club YouTube account, and you'll find that live stream for sheets A and D.
Also in the description of this video that is contained, as well as a link to the USA Curling website, where we have our scores located on the upper left-hand side of the screen, and the in-player information, other assorted things, standings, all those things are also on that link there. Curling this rock in a little bit here.
A little fast.
Seems heavy. Might go back 8 maybe?
With a little sweeping there, sits back 8.
Looks like Harvard wants to come in with an 8-foot draw.
Didn't even notice this until just now, but that center guard there, almost a textbook 3-guard there, right on the center. Only taken us a few games to get, so we're not over curling every rock, it seems like. Someone asked for a scoreboard update on the upper left there. I'll go ahead and make sure that is correct here.
Yeah, we'll be updating that currently.
Gotta go over to the website here and check this. This is going to be fun, cropping this on the fly.
We are currently working on updating the scores in your top left corner. So just hang on tight for a minute there, and that'll be updated in a second.
Hopefully that should do it there. Looks like the right thing's probably going to be a little bit behind here for the first little bit of it. But usually the only thing that lags behind for that is when they transition from where it says shooting LSD to their playing first ends and the like. Looks like a second draw here Might actually
That's
be
a
a
take.
little heavy there for a draw. It's going to get both of those rucks far enough out that Harvard is going to be sitting shot here. Shot by 2 points, it looks like.
Looks like RPI is attempting the roll.
Is Harvard hammer or is RPI?
RPI is now sitting.
Only by a little, though. Gets pretty close there. What? Oh, yeah. Rather wide-looking rock here. Almost going over the personnel boxes there, whatever you call those.
Oof, that is certainly not what they wanted there.
So it looks like RPI has an opportunity to draw between those. I think it's exactly what they're going for.
Now, it's definitely been fun this weekend. We've actually had a lot of East Coast teams playing East Coast teams, so this remains true for RPI and Harvard here, who are very familiar with each other. Yeah, as Penn Stater, we play these teams all the time, and, you know, everybody in college curling is generally friends with all of the other teams, so it's a really friendly, welcoming environment, and really fun to come here for nationals and play our.
Looks like that rug was a little bit too heavy for them.
But one thing I will say about nationals is it's been really cool having the East Coast teams play with the more Midwestern teams because considering we just don't play each other at all,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
there's a lot of Eastern teams and that just never interact. So I think that it was really fun to kind of go out, room stack, get to know them, considering that we are meeting them for the first time here.
Yeah,
Looks like a good
absolutely.
advancement.
You know, there's definitely very few chances, I think, for the tip of the East Coast type teams to meet, the Western teams and the Midwestern teams. So this has been a really great opportunity to sort of meet new people, play new people, make some new friends.
Looks like RPI might go for the same shot again. Didn't really have much curl in the last one. I think they were probably a little narrow and fast on that last throw. So I'll try to go for it again. Let's see.
With you on that one. Something interesting I found out about the East Coast teams, and actually that is a unique thing to a lot of teams, is the fact that instead of having their hand out as the skip for what side they want the handle to be facing before release, they just give it for what direction they want the rock to curl, which is not something that I realized until I realized that not every shot was being thrown inside out.
That is true. That's actually not the first comment I've heard about handles, like handle signals, because I noticed that a lot of different teams do it differently.
Right.
And sometimes when I try to read what the signals are, I just get confused, and then I think to myself, oh, that's what they meant.
Right, yeah. Only after the shot do you think about what they meant. You're like, oh, that's what they meant. Man, that's why I missed that shot.
No, I agree. And if I had to play with a, kind of one of those teams, Midwestern team, and where they do a little bit differently, I probably would
this
have
is close.
frustrated them. That was very close.
Ooh, just a
Got
little
the
nudge
roll.
there.
Got the roll. Okay,
Seems a little harder than they
now,
wanted to,
Harvard is
but-
sitting.
Looks like they're almost trying to go for the same shot here.
I mean, the path is absolutely there. You definitely have the drawing on that side. Yeah, I like this. This is a fun board.
Take a look at this one on the close-up here.
Oh, wow.
Looks like they got
They're
it.
sitting
Wow.
right on top of it.
And gonna
That's
knock
nice.
it back far enough that they might be sitting 3 here now.
Looks like 2. Looks like 2.
I'd say at least 2.
At
Yeah.
least.
Interested in seeing what Harvard does. Considering Harvard is hammer, I'm gonna see. Yep, Harvard's got 2 stones left. So interested in seeing what they do.
Request to show sheet D. I think that can be arranged. I'll give you guys the button for D for just a moment here.
Absolutely, and just as a reminder, sheets A and D are being live streamed as well, just without commentary. Both, in the
Same channel.
In the same channel. Yeah.
Looks like somebody also has a stream going for C on the classic tried and true suction cup to the wall technique. There's D's house for you. I'll put back on this one. Here's your C house. That's B house. Whoopsies. There we go. I was wondering why it was the wrong color. But yes, I think showing sheet D here can be arranged. We'll head over there next. After this end on B here. Things still sitting 0-0 for just about everybody. Line looking good here. Didn't quite catch the call on what they wanted here.
Looks like they were trying to go for the same type draw. Getting some good curl on there, right behind that
rock.
front yellow guard. Looks pretty good. Looks like RPI sitting 3.
Maybe 4-2 with that one in the back. It's close to C though.
Yep. Looks like I think Harvard might go for a little wider draw, sit on that red in the back 4. Sheet D is the most competitive game out of the 4. That's interesting.
Opinions are opinions. Something just happened on C. It looks like a good draw to the button almost. We'll do our best to keep an eye out on the other sheets here. As we get later into the game, we also might use that B wide angle camera there, that B far end camera, to watch C and B or B and A, depending on requests of those of you guys watching.
Harvard coming in.
Hard to sweep here.
Wow.
Wide.
Maybe too much ice given there.
Yep. Definitely looks like they're sitting at least 3. I think that's what the call. Oh. Oh, no. Yep. I'd say 3.
3 red there. Go ahead and head over to D as requested here by our viewers. Someone else says C.
C, please.
I'll vote sheet C all night. All right. We got some people for D. We got
Same
some people
here.
for C. Well, of course he would.
Sheet C all day. I'm trying my best to be a good
Hashtag
commentator.
not biased.
Hashtag not biased. Hashtag go Navy. Beat Michigan Tech.
Of course, I'm a Michigan Tech person because I'm from Michigan here, but, you know.
This is actually Navy's
Second
second time playing a Midwestern team. So we played Castleton just before this. Castleton has been some of our greatest friends, and it was a really interesting game to see on Sheet D, to have played them, considering we've done multiple events with them. So I've spared for.
Looks like they're actually doing a measure over here on D. You can take a look at that.
Wow.
Joining in at a good time. First end goes to a measure. MIT getting the point over University of Wisconsin-Madison here. Another request for Sheet A here.
Marines want to see Navy. Yes, we do. Hoorah all day, every day.
Yeah, right. We'll do our best to try and keep an eye on D here, but we're going to go back over to C. Let me put it on the right camera this time.
So currently on sheet C, we have Michigan Tech in yellow versus Navy in red. Michigan Tech trying to make a draw. Goes through the house.
Not quite through the house. Sits on the back 4, it looks like.
Oh, that was the first one.
We've got Lauren Steinberg throwing for lead here. Looks like she's got a 2, just close to 2 guard. Yep, she's throwing her second stone now.
Do what now? This one doesn't have a 4 in camera. Takeout looking here. Heavy draw weight, maybe
This is
hack.
curling in.
Oh, looks like it's going to hit theirs out. Appeal on their own rock. Michigan Tech, though, up 4 points here to start things out.
Starting off strong for Michigan Tech.
Very strong start by them. They've had strong starts overall in almost all of their games.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Penn State played them in pool play, and we had a really competitive but tough game against them. They were really great at their takeouts, so I'm expecting a really fun game here versus the Navy.
I agree, and you guys can't really see it, but considering, I would say about 50 to 45% of the crowd here in the warm room is Michigan Tech fans. Granted, it is not very far travel to kind of get here to Midland Curling Club.
I think it's only about 8 hours from here, and even then, there are a lot of people who are from around here who are
From Michigan Tech?
From Michigan Tech.
It's 8 hours away?
Yes, it's
No
a
way.
long drive. I mean, you got to go up all the way through. You got to go across the bridge and then all the way up across like most of the Upper Peninsula and then into the Keweenaw.
I wish I was a little bit more geographically inclined, but
Well, I only
that
know
is-
that because I'm going there this summer, and the bus ride gets to Bay City at 1:15 in the morning
wow.
to get there by like 10 in the morning or so. That's not 8 hours. That doesn't add up. Math. It's the weekend. I don't have to think about that. A very
Looks
solid
like they got
takeout here.
one.
A good example of those takeouts you were talking about there by Michigan Tech.
Michigan's got a lot of great highly skilled players, and they've made a lot of their shots. Their LSDs, which I don't think you guys were able to see, were pretty much on par, very close to the button. And yep, I love Navy's competitive spirit, and we will fight to the end.
Oh, yeah.
And we also have loved the energy from Michigan Tech. They have been great this entire time.
Michigan Tech actually has a Midland alumni here. Alana, not out on the ice. Maybe actually she is out on the ice right now. Important question someone asks. Where do you get a curling stone hat? You would probably know that question.
Yes, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves me right, Lauren, the midshipman wearing the Bobcat jersey, who is currently dancing on the ice, I think, or spasming, but she is wearing the curling stone hat. I think she got that as a gift for Christmas. We also have one, Luke as well, jersey FP, he also has one, but she and pretty much all of Navy are very biased towards the Redstone. But I think Amazon would be your best bet to get one, or Etsy.
Either of
Looks
those.
like Michigan Tech missed the double, but they did get one of the stones out.
Only red in the rings at the moment here. One of our local Midland members, I think he's actually here volunteering today, has a custom knitted curling stone hat that's got some like metal rods in the handle so it actually can stick up into the air. I've seen him wear it a couple of times. He came into juniors one day and all of the first year curlers just like, oh my gosh, how do you get that hat?
Looks like Navy hit their own guard and caused a stone to ricochet off into the house. Michigan looking for the double.
Michigan might be going for a double here.
I think it's definitely there.
I agree. It's definitely within their skill range. So.
And like you said, they've been on par with their takeouts overall.
Switches online. I'm standing up for this. I need to see this.
It's very important.
Looks like she's on. Seems a good line. Might be a little too wide.
Oh, barely
Looks like
clips
she's
that.
got
Still
one.
going to get that one out.
Yep. It's been further behind the
Oh, it sticks.
house.
Sticks in the rings. Not by much, though.
She's a biter.
A lot of takeouts from Michigan Tech and Navy. So far, this championship, I've noticed that it has been overall, if there's a lot of takeouts and not a lot of rocks in the rings at the beginning, it ends up being a very close game in the end. Our last couple of games, especially B and A, a lot of rocks that were being taken out, especially at the beginning to middle of the games.
I agree.
Both of those were very close.
One of the things we definitely had to do is learn different strategies, kind of taking different approaches with different teams, especially the Midwest teams, with how differently we play.
Yes.
Just like splitting the house here. I don't think it was like kind of what they wanted. It was more so a guard, but it's like Navy's goal is to clog the house, see how many Michigan Tech can take out at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting. So I've been a part of college curling since 2021. And honestly, in my experience, I feel like the college teams in the post-pandemic era used to be, pretty scared of takeouts and what they would do. And you'd have a really clogged, area in front of the house to try to play around. And as the years have gone by, I feel like people have gotten more confident with their, their takeout shots. Maybe more practice,
Could be
now
that.
the ice is available. But yeah, people are really at the top of the game. And I'm loving all the takeout action because you definitely didn't used to see it as much.
Sometimes that aggression just brings a lot of the sitting at the edge of your seat with how they're going to get it. If the line's there, really trying to see. Great takeout
That's a
from
peel,
Michigan
too.
Tech. Yep. Navy's got 2 stones in the back 12s. I don't think anything Michigan Tech's too worried about.
Michigan Tech doesn't have hammer going into this, though. We'll have to see how they work this out, trying to get points this end.
I think it's mostly a reduce the amount of points.
Oh,
type
yeah.
Game for Michigan Tech. It's what I think I've seen consistently from Michigan Tech with the last few games I've watched them do. Is just get as many points with hammer, minimize the amount of points the opposing team has or gains in that end.
Yeah, so they're currently up 4 right now versus the Navy. So we'll see what happens here. But the Navy has put themselves in a good position as far as getting some stones on the wings to potentially count for points when this end is finalized. So we'll see what happens.
This is also Navy's first time ever going to nationals. So it was definitely a big learning curve for us as well.
Yes, it's been a big learning curve for a lot of the teams who haven't played on our ice. Our Rocks have apparently been, for lack of a better word, curly. Minnesota substitute I had on here spent a substantial amount of time talking about how curly the rocks on our ice were.
I agree. Very interesting amount of curl.
I honestly love it. I feel
That's
like,
great.
Like I said, being from the East Coast, a lot of the East Coast, like, curling clubs have pretty straight ice in comparison. So the curl here has been amazing. This has been the best ice I've played on, the best ice my teammates have played on. So thank you so much to the ice techs who worked on the ice this weekend
and
really tried to make conditions perfect for our national championship.
I believe they reflooded the ice on Tuesday, Wednesday as well. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's some of that you don't see probably once a year.
Yeah.
From most curling clubs. I'm sorry.
Curling clubs. Tongue twister.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah.
So Skips Rock, let's see what happens here.
I will say something interesting that our club had happen this year. The weekend before Christmas, at our club, the water main running into our building actually broke and flooded out into our warm room and out onto sheet D. They were midway through the flood at the time, but they were able to melt the ice again and then re-flooded it. Sheet D was a little wonky at the beginning, but they managed to get things fixed and fixed up the walls, repainted them as well. So we're lucky to have things back as we are and to not have the damage be terribly great from it.
So it looks like Navy is sitting 2 right now. You can't really see it on the stream, but there is a back 12 biter as well. And it looks like they're going to try to draw for 3.
There we go.
There we go. Got the view up for you. There's your back 12 biter.
Back 12 biter.
Michigan Tech here, still just trying to minimize damage.
Yeah, look like this is skip stone, so Quinn, our skip, does what skips are supposed to do. Oh boy.
Draw might be a little bit heavy here. Michigan Tech doing
might sit,
everything in
but
their power to
she
get
is
it out.
impressive.
The draw makes it.
Said
Looks like it's 3.
3 biters.
3 biters. Very competitive end between Tech and Navy there.
Big ends here.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Looks like only 2.
Wow.
The third one must not have been biting.
I guess it just like majority half. It all just depends on perspective, but that was, maybe 3?
Maybe 3.
Oh, I think they fought for 3. Okay, that's better.
3.
That's what I thought.
It was 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, big ends. 4 in the first by MTU and 3 by Navy. I mean, these are some high-scoring ends so far. Really competitive start.
I agree. This is really going fast.
Bowdoin RT sheet has been requested as well. We've been on C for a little while now. We'll use this far in camera to give you guys a view of both the sheets here, both A and C, and I will do my best to keep the button cameras also active for both sides.
Quick comment section check from Benjamin Black. I think so. I'm pretty sure it was a gift, a Christmas gift from her family member, and I agree, Nathan Hobbs, good recovery for Navy after giving up 4. So this might be a close game.
Oh, wow. Bowdoin comes in with a fun draw here. Looks like they're sitting 2. They got 2. So it is 2-2 Bowdoin RIT.
Looks like B and A are also following very, very similar timing for their ends here. Both teams were ended there at almost the same time. Not something you see terribly often. Maybe only a 20, 30-second difference between the times they were putting the rocks away. Looks like the teams are getting some coaching here. Bowdoin, especially here on the right side down by the warm room.
I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to give you attention. I can do it actually. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I would say there's a lot of good action on the in all of these sheets anyway, so you're really going to want to look.
Things starting back up here on B. After some coaching, I'd guess. Maybe just some little bit of strategic talk between the teams in their minute break there. Going to be a very strong guard right out of the gate here. Take a look at the guard coming in on A here, as we can't see that
Back
on
house,
the big
maybe.
screen.
Looks like it made it into the
Oh
house.
no, top of the house. Wow.
Almost biting the forefoot.
Yep.
Now in this situation, if I was the opposing team, just because it's if it's a 4-foot shot coming out, I'd probably want to take that out right away. But they have some options here.
Especially considering how tight these games have been. It's like you're either shot rock with hammer or not. Sometimes it really comes down to who has hammer and who doesn't. And at least that's been the case for Navy.
RPI hoping that rock would sit. Both their players doing the communal pushing down motion there, hoping that rock will sit.
I love college curlers because we come up with some universal signs to indicate, our pleasure or displeasure at where the stone is going.
Hit it with a sweep behind the stone. To
I love that. Jumping is my personal favorite. We try to jump all in unison on command. Slow it down.
Don't do it too hard. You might crack the ice or something. I don't know, man.
Hasn't happened yet.
Keyword there.
Yet is the key word, yes.
I play in our Sunday night dinner league with my dad. We had it happen once. I was sweeping behind a rock as a joke. It was way too far out and wide to the side here, but I was sweeping behind it, and it just happened to pick something and pulled exactly in where we wanted it, which is like top of the forefoot, just to be getting us scoring. So it's kind of become a little bit of a running joke within the Sundays, especially the people who were there to watch it. Again, RPI hoping this rock is going to sit. Doesn't look like it's going to either.
That's the thing. One of the things I've noticed is how much the rock floats. Like you can get it to sweep, you can get it to curl, but the moment you're off and you're pretty much within the house, it will float all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. This was something that our team was really noticing as well, is how far the rock actually will carry after you've thrown it. I think we're used to rocks stopping a lot earlier than we've seen here in Midland, but it's been a really fun learning curve actually, with especially the swing of the ice and the really fun ice conditions. So it's been interesting.
Seemed like a similar fate for Harvard as well, kind of going around those front two guards. Once they make that front two guards extremely near, like extremely close to the guards, it just floats right through.
Getting a roll here on A for Bowdoin. Not going to quite be far enough behind there to be a full roll. Looks like RIT is going to try and go for a takeout or a run back on that one, whichever one you want to call that.
I would hope for appeal if I were them.
Opening it up, yep.
Looks like this one might actually sit here.
Ooh,
gonna sit on the
protected.
forfeit.
Wow, right behind those two
Protected.
guards. What, third time's a charm?
Third, yeah, I think that was the third rock there. Tried to do that.
This is back on sheet A.
Not exactly a peel there or a double, but it's pretty
You know,
close
it's wide
to both.
open now, though.
Oh, yes.
They can come right in for the take, if depending on how Bowden plays with this guard.
I'm going to do a Keith shout out. Thank you, Keith, for clarifying where Lauren got her hat. Her sister did crochet that hat and give it to her.
It's a cool hat.
It is a very cool hat. She's gotten many compliments. So it looks like Harvard might be sitting on top of the red. Wow.
They nosed it.
What a
Exactly what they wanted to do.
And that is almost exactly, that is covering the pin too.
They just have to do it again.
Exactly. This might become a game of tap backs. We'll have to see how RPI handles this. We'll go take a look at the house again for A there. Looks like they're going to get a very nice 3-guard or 2-3 guard there. And RIT going to come in and do the same shot again. RPI's rock over curling a little bit maybe.
Oh, it looks like something picked almost on that ice.
Yeah.
That
looks
stone
like it
went
even
lost
way
the
off.
handle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take a look over at this takeout. They might get the double here. Goes through in between the two yellows. Not quite enough there.
That is
Looks like something similar is happening in the sheet C, considering Michigan Tech has hammer now. Very spread house.
After this rock, we'll take a look at the house for C.
Looks like Harvard's going to do it again. Maybe tap back that red one again. Not quite on the nose, but
Just
still
enough
some
there.
room.
There's your sheet C house. Everything very, very much out on the outside there. Interesting end for them. Not to try to make things too confusing, but back over to A here. You can see the house for that one. As we'd say on Sundays, I think we have enough guards now. As very
RIT
little room
better
to get
tap
around.
this back.
Looks like they're going for it. Almost all
Very
they need
precise
is a
shot.
nose.
Yep. Definitely capable for sure. It is a lot of ice to kind of make up, but
Now, having played RIT twice this nationals, I know their team has 3 junior curlers. So a lot of combined years experience. Yeah, they're really excited to be here, really excited to continue their curling career in college curling. And Bowden, their opponents, are actually a club of arena curlers.
Wow. Well, then they're doing awfully well for arena curlers.
Yeah, absolutely. Penn State is as well, and I can definitely tell you that the ice conditions on arena ice as compared to curling clubs are completely different, and your style of play actually, I think, totally changes depending on what type of ice you're actually on.
Oh,
So
yeah. I remember
Bowden's been really successful at actually handling the curling ice specifically
I
over the
agree.
years.
when I was really little, my dad got into curling. We lived just north of Indianapolis, and at the time, Circle City Curling Club out of Indianapolis was using arena ice, and my dad's options were go there or drive a little over 2 hours to go to Fort Wayne's ice, which was actual ice, and he chose to go to Fort Wayne. Curled there for 2 seasons before he wasn't able to do it anymore, and then when we moved up here, we were just like, oh, hey, there's a curling club. We should go. And here we are 5 years later. So arena ice versus actual ice like this, dedicated ice, is sometimes the deal breaker for people joining the club.
One thing I would like to point out, too, about arena curlers is that I think they're some of the most dedicated curlers you'll see out there, because they're trying to still compete, trying to still be involved in the sport, despite not having perhaps access to that dedicated ice.
Or the greatest of conditions at
Absolutely,
that.
absolutely.
I've heard quite a few horror stories with arena ice, and considering some vent drippage, some Zamboni lines.
Oh,
Love me
Zamboni
a
lines are our
Zamboni line,
nightmare.
especially when they just drive right through the house, and that sets a perfect line to just ride that line straight into the button. So
Rock is just like, all right, we're curling, and then we're going to stay right here the entire rest of the sheet.
you master the Zamboni line, the house is yours, I will say. Unfortunately, there's no Zamboni lines here at Midland Curling Club, but you adapt and overcome if you're Bowdoin or Penn State.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, it's so funny because, we'd have our 6 a.m. practices at our ice arena and, fresh Zamboni lines all ready to go for us. So,
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
It's a great way to start the morning. Some fresh Zamboni lines, just ready to get after it. Looks like Harvard might be going in for another draw. It's not quite the final skip rock, but
We're getting close, though.
yep, very close. And there they go.
Harvard coming in with a heavy stone. Let's see what this does.
Looks like it's curling a lot already. Getting some good curl. Very close to that front guard. Might hit the front yellow. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Very close.
Ah.
Looks like, yep, they might go for the opportunity to kind of just come draw right in.
We're going to watch A here for just a second as they bring down one. Look at the house over there. Play-by-play would be helpful on the sheets we can't see. C as in sheet C, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as a reminder, A and D are also being live streamed separately on the YouTube channel. So those are the far sheets on the aisles. And you'll see those without commentary on a different live stream just on the same YouTube. And then we're also switching sort of between the B and C side. So we'll try to get you coverage of all the sheets.
Close ends here, though. We're staying put with A and B here for just a little while longer.
These ends finish up here. I will be verbally updating the chat on the scores.
Thank you for that as well. It's usually something that I'm not very good at here. A good-looking draw there. It's a little bit of a tap back.
Yep.
Cuts whatever team is not Harvard that I cannot remember or read at the time, which is RPI. There we go.
Yes,
down two.
The fact that they both are wearing red is sometimes very confusing.
Granted, it's different colors of red, but all of the times that I've done Harvard, they have been Red Rock. So I'm like, oh, Red Rock Harvard, kind of like Castleton. I keep wanting to call Carleton because one of our Midland teams that I've commentated for is Carleton. I've mentioned that before, though. Looks like A is finished up with their side of things, so we can pan over to C and
looks like C
actually
just
at the
finished
edge
theirs
of
as well.
D.
Yep, looks like C just finished their end.
Oh, wow. On sheet C, the score is currently Michigan Tech 8, Navy 3. Big end going from
Sweeper
4
falls
to
down.
8 there.
That is a big end for Michigan Tech.
Once that sweeper fell down, though, the guy who threw the rock immediately jumped in and took over his spot. So good
That's good
team
teamwork.
coverage there.
Good
yeah,
teamwork.
yeah.
Looks like on sheet A, the score right now is currently 4 RIT to Bowdoin.
We can follow this C sheet rock down, even put it on the house for that there. Just a single high guard there. Looks like they're going to get past it, maybe over curl it, as it was probably trying to go around. But it works out as a corner guard.
Looks like RPI is throwing their skip stone. I think they're going to go for a tap onto that red and possibly sit 2. Or make sure they're sitting at least 1. Looks like the weight's there. Wow.
They're going to bring their own rock out there.
Reduce them down to 1.
Cuts them down to 1, though. RPI fist bumps for everybody there.
Yep.
Move over to C for full time, if you can call it that there. I'll also recenter that one since it is currently off to the side. We can get a full view of D as well as C on this one, or a mostly full view on this camera. Here's our sheet 3 near house as well here. I'll let you guys do the commentating for this a little bit here.
Might be a little too hard for Navy. Might sit back 12.
Again, very strong performance here by Michigan Tech.
Looks
over
like they
Navy
might
there.
either sit on the back 12 or just right behind that guard that they have there. Might be a little hard, but might work out as a take. Oh, never mind.
Can be swept past it.
Looks like on sheet D, they're doing a measure
Ooh,
on
measure on sheet D. We'll go take a look at
Madison
that.
stone. And we'll see how many they end up getting here.
Not quite a measure. I think they're actually just trying to figure out whether this one is in the rings or not. Might have been a scoring stone. Looks like it was, as they put it towards the center for the signal there for just a second there.
Okay, final update on that
Maybe
end.
really digging for what I think
UW
was hoped
Madison
for a
got
top 12
3
fighter,
points.
but settled for a 2 guard.
So the score on D is looks like
Score on
4
D.
MIT, 3 UW Madison.
Yes. Almost immediately that rock is being swept for line here. Thanks for broadcasting this. Hashtag Go Navy. You are welcome. We are enjoying ourselves over here and making sure that you guys enjoy the stream as well. So.
Yeah, Sunny, can you talk about your experience as part of the Navy team on
Yeah.
getting to nationals? This is your first year. What has that been like for you guys?
I will say it's been quite a journey. I've been a part of the Navy curling team pretty much since the start. Granted, it started our seniors' freshman year, but pretty much towards the end, so we didn't really start our season until our seniors were sophomores, so about 3 years ago. And it was quite a journey, especially considering only 2 people in our team, one of them being FP, and then the other being Quinn or Skip. Those people only curled in high school and then kind of didn't expect to curl in college until Quinn was like, okay, let's make a team. So definitely growing and developing the skills we have now within the 3 years. So going to nationals within 3 years has been pretty impressive for us. Getting some coverage at the Naval Academy. Some people are still discovering that we have a team, which is really interesting.
You guys have a curling team? What?
Exactly.
Since when did we have that?
Yep. Going from being relatively new to competing with all of these awesome colleges and competing against other armed forces teams over in Minot, North Dakota.
Oh, nice. They have one?
Great opportunity. We did a armed forces game, Bonspiel, and we proudly wear the title of best armed forces team in North America.
So. Absolutely.
Good for you guys.
Thanks.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Go Navy.
Go Navy. Hopefully be Michigan Tech. I know we got some Tech fans here, but
plenty of Tech fans, I'm sure.
I will hold the fort as Navy fans. I will represent us all day, every day.
Yeah, it's actually been awesome seeing Navy's progress through the years. I remember a few years back when the club was first starting, Penn State came out to D.C. To play against you guys in a head-to-head.
That was great.
And to see the progress from there until now, it's been absolutely astronomical. And it's been no, seriously though, it's been amazing to see how well you guys have been doing and making it to nationals this year. Like, absolutely, congratulations.
Thank you.
We've been following your progress. We've been really excited about it, and it's just been really great to see.
Yeah, playing at State College was also really fun for us, and that being the first year, Navy curling really wants to go compete, and I think a lot of us that season decided, holy smokes, I think we actually want to do this. We actually love the spirit of curling. A lot of us coming out of very competitive sports, having cheer, having wrestlers, football players, volleyball players, lacrosse players come join and really see the spirit of curling, and the fact that when we tell them that we really buy drinks for the losers, they're just so surprised, or like people that just don't win. And it is a refreshing thing coming out of a very competitive college where you're competing all the time for academics, for the physical mission, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Curling with Penn State, everyone East Coast, even in the Midwest. The Midwest, I didn't expect it to be typical Midwest, very comforting, very nice, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Yeah, one of the best things about curling in general and college curling specifically is how welcoming everybody is. It's been a great sport. Everybody I know who have tried it on the competitive college level has really had a great experience sort of across the board. So. But yeah, we've actually had a few new teams here this year.
I believe that Vermont team,
Castleton as well.
They are new this year.
They won regionals, right? Along with Hamilton. They got a spot at the Utica game.
Yeah, Castleton had a big showing at the Utica regionals on my hometown ice, which was really great to see. We were super excited. We're also great friends with Castleton, so yeah, actually, lots of new clubs in the last few years in like the post-pandemic era, or sort of like revived, rejuvenated clubs that have really grown tremendously as individuals and as teams. So yeah, this year has been really amazing. As a senior, it's sort of great to see this final culmination of everybody's skills and also their passion for the game itself.
I will say too, it's considering nationals being such a scary thing, things that you learn that aren't a typical like Bonspiel type thing. Like the 9-minute practices, all that stuff is so new, and you guys, those that have been veterans for nationals, made it very welcoming. So it's especially such a steep learning curve for sure. Looks like Michigan Tech sitting 2. Wonder if they might go for a double.
Like you were saying with those teams who were like the new teams coming in, there's always, I was thinking about this while you were saying this, the mainstay teams, if you will, Minnesota being one. They've been here coming basically every year for many, many years, as well as Michigan Tech. Both of those actually having Midland alumni, which is cool for me to see. Both of them I have actually curled with at some point in time during my thing. The Minnesota alumni that we had was I curled with not 2 weeks ago when she was visiting family down here. Maybe it was a few more than that, but it felt like 2 weeks ago. These winter months seem to blur, all blur as one,
That's
don't
true.
they?
A lot of us, too, are just not from the Midwest or just come from places that curl.
Right.
Some of us coming from North Carolina, Montana. Ironically, our North Dakota native, she did not grow up curling. Me coming from Florida, that's not a thing. Not even close to a thing.
Yeah, it's actually funny. We have a few Floridians who have decided to join curling in our club this year. I don't know. Maybe they thought initially it was a sort of a gimmick. You know, let's try a nice sport as a Floridian. That seemed to sort of be the attitude going into our Learn to Curl sessions, at least. But I think they found that they've quite enjoyed themselves. So
I agree. Considering the area gets cold, to learning how to handle that too.
Yeah, Navy
Looks like
actually
Navy's got that.
Navy won the Spirit of Curling.
Good shot.
Yeah.
We
this
did.
year.
We did. Especially.
So even if you don't win the championship, you still won something, right?
We did win something, and I honestly didn't expect it.
For arena curling clubs. Yeah, I believe most of them are new. I think there's one older
Yeah, they're
one.
relatively new. I think the oldest one I've seen was in Orlando, which is like coming as a South Floridian. That is about 3 to 4 hours for me.
Yeah.
And that's still a lot of them are actually in more northern Florida, like Jacksonville area, which is 6 to 8 hours from us. So it's definitely a drive, but I guess those that come from the northern panhandle of Florida is either that or Georgia.
Yeah. Orlando, Tampa Bay, Jacksonville, Loggerhead. I've heard of the Loggerhead one before.
Those are all
I
pretty
believe
far.
some people were probably talking about that a while ago.
I will
Probably heard
relay
it
that
somewhere.
to Quinn, because he got Navy pilot, so he'll be going to Pensacola soon. We're all trying to find some dedicated ice for Quinn to continue his curling journey so that he could set himself up for a maybe 2030 Olympic trial.
Hey, good for him, too. That's cool.
Florida curling is life. I need a sticker that says that because it's all Salt Life stickers all day, every day.
Freshwater kid.
Freshwater kid, yep.
Living in Michigan, 20 minutes away from the Saginaw Bay.
Believe it or not, when we flew here, I saw the ginormous lake, and I thought, truly, I'm like, there's no way that's not an ocean.
Yeah, right.
It was ginormous.
It's big from the sky. Score on sheet D showing behind. Probably just the website not updating. I'll manually refresh it here.
Those scores might be a little bit behind. I'll just let you know right now on
Looks
sheet
like it's
D.
good now. I manually refreshed the page. Thank you for letting us know that, though. We appreciate it.
So it's 4 MIT, 3 UW-Madison.
It's also a very digital nationals game. Oh, got another biter for Navy curling.
2, looks like, maybe? I'll take a look on the close-up here. Looks like 2 from the camera up here.
2 for Tech.
Tech consistently being yellow as well over here.
I feel like that's probably the preferred color, considering that your colors are yellow.
You're right. Yeah. But
Navy's very big on red.
oh yes. So it works out for both of us.
It
then.
does.
They're gonna mop and do the sheets here. If you guys would like to take a minute or two break while they do this here on C, that's fine with me. I usually go get myself another drink.
Yep, I will
about
be
this
right
time.
back.
So until we return in around 5 minutes or so, enjoy the mopping of the ice here.
Yes, we are currently switching to Sheet B, Harvard RPI. A bit of a crazy house here. We are currently pulling it up now. So if you look here, RPI is currently sitting 2, potentially 3. Might have to measure on that. Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Looks like RPI is just trying to guard that up to avoid the possibility of some crazy, double, triple takeout action. Now each skip on sheet B has 1 stone left. This puts Harvard in a really tough position actually, because you have the 3 RPI stones all touching the forefoot, and you also have 3 RPI guards. Looks like Harvard is trying to figure out what sort of angle they have here to minimize the damage that this house could potentially cause. And RPI also has hammer. So definitely a very dangerous house. The score is currently tied up right now at 3-3. With RPI, maybe getting 3-4, depending on how this end goes. This is definitely a very competitive move. Now, just as a reminder, sheets A, C, and D are on break after the 4th end, so we'll be back to coverage on them soon. All right, the Harvard skip is about to take his final shot. Looks like this might be light. Not sure what they were trying to do here. But now RPI has a chance to rip it for potentially 4. You know, if I were them, I'd probably just try to go on the takeout on those yellow Harvard stones in the 4 and 8 foot right there. There's definitely a port to do so. Looks like they're trying to figure out that angle currently.
I have also returned. All 3 of us have returned from our brief sabbatical here. Still a crazy end going on here on B.
Yep, just got done doing a brief talk with Navy
doing
curling.
that. Gee whiz.
Keeping the energy high, keeping the love of curling, spirit of curling going. I got to play coach for some of these games and definitely got to put some practice in with strategic calls and really noticing where the stone's going.
Oh, wow. RPI coming in. They got their take for 4.
Wow.
What a great end
Amazing
for
shot
RPI.
there.
And of course, I didn't have the camera.
Wait, not for
it.
4. For 5.
Looks like for 5.
For 5. That is a
Jeez.
crazy house.
College
Very
always
impressive game
ends
from
in
RPI.
8. Yes, college for the most part ends in 8. Depending on what the skips decide, I believe they can shake on 6 if the score is too high. I believe Michigan Tech actually exceeded the scoreboard on their last game, getting higher than 15 points against their previous opponent. So.
Yeah, so in the college circuit, we typically play 8 ends. You know, schools are pretty good about, even if the scoreboard is run up, you know, sometimes you shake, but especially with the arena ice teams, it's an opportunity to play on dedicated ice. So there are some schools who will still let you play the full 8 ends, even if they run the board up on you.
Almost had a takeout there from Tech. Tech so far hasn't been terribly on for their takeouts, on the contrary to their previous games here. Okay, I should ask, does the Navy team prefer to be referred to as the Navy or just Navy? Or do they have a preference? Just Navy?
Yeah, Navy. It's saving you on your word count, Navy.
Right.
There's no other Navy team here, so it'd be easier for you.
Okay, I gotcha.
But which is interesting that the question was, do we always play 8 ends? Navy, I think our second to last game or the one before Castleton, we only played up to 6 ends and did a shake, which is usually odd. We usually go all the way to 8 ends because I feel like it'd be good practice for all of us. But then again, this is pretty much one of the last games of the season.
Exactly.
So.
And that was also a pretty hard blowout game. You guys were way ahead of them.
Definitely fun, yeah. I would say blowout, and it's only the humble person inside of me. I hate the word blowout, but I did think it was a very good game between all of us. I think it was UW Stevens Point. So.
One thing I always like to emphasize is that college curlers, a lot of them haven't even touched curling ice or played curling at all before college. You do have some of them who were junior curlers in a previous life.
Life,
a lot of college curlers actually have never touched ice before their undergraduate or graduate careers. One thing that's also fun, I think, about curling in this circuit specifically is that you have both college and graduate students. So you can have a wide range of sort of life experiences with that. Yeah, so you'll have like, you know, your engineering type students. Sometimes you have you know, your like dentistry type students. Really across all disciplines, all eager to play the sport as they work on their academic career.
Tech here going for a takeout again. Our commentator from Navy here going out to do some coaching for them here in a minute. May or may not be back here. She did not tell us before she left. But we're down to 2 here, 2 commentators, but we're going to keep things as lively as possible over here.
Looks like Michigan is going for the hit here.
Oh, almost had the double there. Just didn't quite hit that rock where they needed it to.
Yeah, so just a quick update on scores. So on sheet A, we have Bowdoin at 5, RIT at 4 after 4 ends. On sheet B, we have Harvard 3 and RPI 8 after 4 ends. Sheet C, Michigan Tech at 10, Navy at 3 after 4 ends. And on D, we have Madison at 3 and MIT at 6. Looks like Michigan is attempting the hit again. Right on the nose.
Going to put them open for a takeout as well here. Looks like that's what Navy is going to go for here. Tech here looking like they're going to go for another takeout. Takeout's becoming one of Tech's most favored shots here, it seems like. Ooh, camera not having a little bit of a moment here. It's going black on my screen. Not sure if it is for you guys. Okay, we're back. We are back. We'll watch this takeout here. Oh, almost had the double there. Very, very close there. Very, very close. Now Navy here going for the roll of that last takeout. Almost immediately there, they're on for line here. maybe also looking to get a roll here. Didn't get that roll. They're going to roll over, bite the forefoot here. And now going to be Navy sitting 3 here. Navy sitting 3 here. Michigan Tech going to go for another takeout, it looks like. What's your word on this? You got a little bit of insight. What do you think? How do you think this is going to go for them?
I mean, if it's MTU, one thing they're going to do is really do well in the takeouts. So let's see how this goes. Weight looks good.
Giving a little curl here at the end. Looks like they're going to hit it. They roll their own rock out. Still don't get that double that they've been trying to get a couple of times here. Looks like they're going for a draw here. Didn't see the call on this one.
Last stone.
Last stone as well here. Navy might actually get 3 going into this end here.
Yeah, Sheet C has certainly been a game of big ends here.
4-point end to start things out. And then a 5 followed by a 5-point end. Or a 3-point end for Navy. And then a 5-point end and then a 2-pointer in the last one.
Looks like 3 for Navy on Sheet C.
Or a 4-point end, not a 5-point end now. Handshakes and fist bumps all around for both teams, it looks like.
You know, they're certainly keeping it competitive. The score is currently 10 Michigan Tech, 6 Navy.
We're going to go over to B here just for a minute. Maybe longer than a minute, we'll have to see. Start by clicking on the right freaking button, man. Jeez. I don't like this software sometimes. What? The other house. There we go. 3rd time's the charm, right? We can watch this rock come down the ice.
Oh, wow, would you look at that. RPI has a stone really directly on the center of the button with some guards up front. But, you know, with that last take out there, Harvard has the opportunity to come in and, you know, take that, maybe take the roll back behind one of the guards.
So our score just updated too. So that should be active and live.
RPI stone a little heavy coming in. Looks like it's going to clip off the Harvard guard.
And roll over just a little bit there.
Not quite in the house. So they're currently sitting 1, and you know, there's this wide open port for Harvard to come in and just really take that out right down the middle. Pretty classic takeout shot. Harvard stone coming in, and they get the takeout.
Not going to get the roll that I think they probably wanted to go behind there, but with only a few rocks remaining here, it's just about the best they're going to get.
Harvard certainly has a lot of making up to do after that last crazy 5-ender in the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
You know, both teams are actually probably pretty equally competitive. If you can look at the first few ends, they actually were tied going into the fourth. So Harvard's definitely trying to make up some points here. They're currently sitting 1 in the house. Let's see if RPI gets this take.
Looks like they're going to. Might also get the roll. Rolls a little bit too much, becomes more of a peel, and they're out of the house there. I do this every time, man. I also don't do that every time. There we go. Do apologize. The software is not the most conducive to changing every, 5 seconds.
Let's see what Harvard does here. If I were them, I would probably try to position their draw behind those guards up front.
I have that on the wrong house, too. That's just great, isn't it?
Because you don't want to leave a big target in the middle for RPI to come in and hit. And big target it is. So Stone is sitting in the back 4 currently. The middle of the sheet is wide open for the opposing team to come in and make a draw.
Doing my best with the camera work over here. Thank goodness I don't have to be commentating too much, so thank you. Thank you to both my commentators here tonight.
Let's see what RPI does here. All right, RPI on the money, comes in, takes out that Harvard stone, rolls a little bit sort of behind the guard there. That's definitely going to be a tough stone to try to take out in any way. Harvard probably going to try to address this by drawing in on top of that last red stone there. Harvard preparing to throw their first skip stone.
Miss Gonzalez there, thank you very much for thanking us. You are welcome for the commentations. We're doing the best we can out here tonight.
Harvard stone is coming in. Let's see where this ends up. It's curling right on
just
top.
enough.
Nice freeze on that stone. Really great drawing. Now, I've personally skipped against both of these teams before, both Harvard and RPI, many times over the years. And I can say that both teams are very competitive, very passionate about curling. Very, very fun opponents. It's great to see them here at Nationals face off against one another once again. RPI makes the guard to prevent another draw-in on that same stone that Harvard just completed. Now there is a small port for Harvard to try to come in and curl on top of that. We'll have to see what decisions they make as far as where to put their broom down. Now, as a quick score update, while Sheet B is discussing this shot, on A, after 5 ends, Bowdoin is at 7, RIT is at 4. On Sheet C, MTU is at 10, Navy is at 6. And on Sheet D, close game, UW-Madison is at 5, and MIT is at 6.
And good timing for that score update, too. Just had somebody in chat ask for it while you were midway through it there, so your timing is impeccable.
Harvard making their final shot with hammer here.
TJ James responds with a thanks. You are welcome, and I want to thank you for watching almost every single one of these streams. I think you've commented at least once or twice on every single one, so I want to thank you for the support on everything here.
Looks like Harvard Stone a little wide and actually pushed that RBI Stone in. Won't matter. Looks like Harvard has won. So score update on B after 5 ends will be 8 RPI for Harvard.
Gonna stay on B here for just a little while longer. What are we going into? 6th end here? Most of these sheets. Gonna go for C for just a little while here. Put our house camera on that near house. You can take a look there. Not terribly crowded, but 3 RIT rocks. Or not RIT rocks, I'm sorry, Navy rocks in there. Another 3 points could put them at 9, which would put them competitively close to Michigan Tech here.
Yeah, Navy definitely trying to make up for some points there. Again, really big ends on Sheet C, but this is not uncommon for college curling. This does happen. You'll find that teams will be certainly very aggressive in, wanting to accumulate points.
Navy here, especially as the sort of defending team, if you can call it that, they're definitely doing everything they can to score as many as they can. Scored last end on the 5th end there.
This is certainly a very fun game with both MTU and Navy being two of some of the top teams in college curling this year. Really exciting matchup. So it looks like they're currently sitting 4, sort of all in the back 8-foot area. MTU is going to come in and try to take multiple of these out at once to try to minimize the potential scoring capability of this end.
The instructions here are given to Michigan Tech. Skip here were probably something along the lines of hit something red. There's so much red there. They're going to go hard on line. And that fast rock is going to be a double, it looks
it was
like.
a single takeout. One of the red rocks kind of came back and is now an almost biter on the back of the 12-foot there.
You can take a look on the close-up there.
So Navy is still sitting 2. Now, just as a reminder to any new viewers of this live stream, Sheets A and D are being streamed also on the YouTube channel separately with no commentary if you'd like to see those houses. And on A, it's Bowdoin RIT, and on D, it's UW-Madison versus MIT.
Saying UW-Madison is a lot shorter to say than it is to say University of Wisconsin-Madison, which is what I had been saying. I didn't even realize until after Point had been out of it that it was another Wisconsin team. I didn't even make that connection that UW-Madison was also UW-Stevens Point there.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, several schools from, different states here across the country. So we had Wisconsin, Madison, and Wisconsin Stevens Point here. Really great seeing the diverse range of schools who have been able to, represent their colleges and universities at this year's national championship. Navy currently sitting 3 on sheet C. Let's see what the MTU skip is going to do.
Well, we have a moment, though. RPI sitting 2 on B, it looks like. Harvard having 1 biter in the rings. Over on A, RTI is sitting 1. We're going to watch this rock come down the ice here. It's going to get that dead-on takeout there. Not quite going to get a rollover.
MTU, though, they're sitting 1 now. Really good end played by Navy, though.
For sure. By both teams. Navy putting up a solid fight there. How many points did they say? 1?
I believe that was 1 to MTU.
I gotcha. MTU having hammer there definitely became let me think about, gee whiz, forgot what I was saying there for a second. MTU having hammer there definitely became the downfall of Navy going into that one, that end there. Could have scored 4 if it wasn't for that hammer there. Could have put them competitively close to Michigan Tech. Well, we've got a little bit of a lull. We're going to go actually over to A, where we haven't actually spent any time on this stream.
Yes, thank you to Sonny and Jasper here, my
Hey,
co-commentators this draw. They provided some great commentary.
And thank you to you as well for being here. I know I've been here the entire day doing the commentary on this, so it's good to have a second and used to have a third here. But
Bowdoin really sweeping hard there. Now, as a reminder, this is sheet A, Bowdoin versus RIT. Bowdoin is up at 7, and RIT is at 4. RIT and Bowdoin both hungry for the national championship this year. Both are previous competitors at previous year's nationals.
Beautiful double there. Well, not even sure if that was the intended purpose there, but a beautiful double by Bowdoin there. Bowdoin overall putting up very, very strong performances on all of theirs. Being a rather intimidating team overall. Coming across the board as just a team that is hungry for the win and is going to do whatever it takes within the spirit of curling to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bowdoin has great depth both here at nationals and back at home. So they've got some, really strong curlers across the board. And we're, really proud to curl with them as fellow arena curlers.
They're arena curlers as well, you said?
Yes, they
You
are.
guys curl on the same ice, or?
No, we just curl at our respective college arenas.
I gotcha.
But they definitely understand the struggle of ice conditions with
Right.
arena ice. So
We're very lucky here in Midland to have proper ice here. And anytime we have arena curlers here, it's always good. It's always fun for us to see how they curl compared to their ice. And when we're curling on arena ice, it's always fun to see how we curl as well.
yeah, it's actually funny to see the difference. I find that arena curlers, especially the first couple ends on like dedicated ice, they'll tend to throw heavier, just because they're used to that with the ice conditions on arena ice. Sometimes you have to throw heavy on arena ice just because of things like sand lines, sort of like figure skating groove marks, maybe like any hockey indents. So yeah, it is definitely a different experience. I know on our ice personally at Pagula Arena, our ice is very straight. It doesn't curl basically at all. So the transition from that to a dedicated ice club, or a club like Michigan, which has a curl especially, is definitely an interesting thing to sort of play around with as we come here to nationals.
Very pretty draw here from RIT. Going to be swept out by Bowden Skip. A very, very strong sweeper here. Getting that out another 2 feet or so. Yes, shout out arena curling. Yes, sir. Ooh.
Really quick score update after the 6th ends on sheet C and D. It is a 11-3 Michigan Tech versus Navy, and on sheet D is 5 UW-Madison and 7 MIT. MIT currently in the lead.
Did a manual refresh on our electronic scores. Screen is not the greatest quality here, can't quite read it. So, either that or it's just my eyes, I can't tell. Can you read it? The digital scores? Without squinting too
Digital
hard?
scores are a little hard to read, but I'll keep shouting them out as each end finishes up here. Really interesting board on sheet A. We have, looks like 2 Bowden stones sitting with a bunch of Bowden guards up front.
There you go. Could take a look at the end, the house camera there. Does look like 2 Bowden stones. We'll watch the rock come down the ice.
At this playoff level in the quarterfinals here at the College National Championship, we did pool play earlier on Friday and earlier today as well. And now we're in a single elimination bracket. So the winners of these games will go on to play for the rest of tomorrow. And
The finals. Woot.
losers will
Semifinals and
be
finals.
eliminated.
Who do you think is going to end up in the finals now that Minnesota's gone? I assumed, or I was hoping and thinking Minnesota was going to get in there, putting up very strong performances both of their games. Actually, all 3 of their games.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you expecting?
It's been a crazy sort of turn of events here at the College National Championship. ASU, Minnesota, Madison, MIT, all very strong contenders for that sort of gold medal for the season. Things are shaping up pretty interesting here. Minnesota and ASU are out. UW is actually playing MIT right now. So one of them will be out as well. You know, it's definitely a real toss-up. We've had some really close games here where, you know, it could have easily gone either way. Now on sheet A, after the 6th end, Bowdoin is up. They're at 8, and RIT is at 4.
No suggestions for sheets. What do you think, B or D? Which would you rather go over to for the moment? What are things looking like on D, I guess I should ask here.
Things are pretty close on D, actually. Let's switch over to D.
I do this wrong every time, don't I?
So-
I peaked at our last game there, and then I've just slowly deteriorated since then. There's the near wall camera. Still not not the greatest quality on D here, but
So like I said, we have UW-Madison and MIT on D. Again, 2 of the most competitive teams at the college curling level.
next to Michigan Tech as well, following as a close third there. Sheet C and B were also both requested. How many rocks do we have remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 rocks remaining this end. You said things were close on the score-wise. This end, I don't know.
At this point, with the scoreboards, sheet D is probably the closest. Again, we have Madison at 5 and MIT at 7. We're in the 7th end, so things are getting close to the end here.
Give it a few more rocks here on D. Requests for both C and B here. I think we're going to go to our wide-angle view from B and just keep the cameras locked on the end of C.
Yeah, so quick update on B. Harvard scored another. So they're only behind by 3 right now. Harvard 5, RPI 8. You know, they have the chance to potentially, you know, tie or even beat RPI here, depending on how hungry they are for this win.
C button looks a little bit crowded. We'll be able to see the sheet, and I'll put the C button on here just for a little bit here. There we are. All right.
Lots of MTU stones in the house. So we're on skip stones on sheet C. The MTU skip throwing what looks to be a takeout. Ends up pushing Navy's redstone into the back of the 8. Michigan still sitting at 3. Yep, MTU and Navy's game are currently being displayed. You can see the button on the left-hand side of your screen there. Navy taking their shot, attempting to do like a double here.
Oh, got it there. Looks like they're going to be one sitting shot now, too. That was a good shot right there by Navy.
Navy keeping up the competition in this 7th end here. Michigan on their last shot.
Michigan have hammer this end, or?
Navy has hammer. Michigan looking like they're trying to take that red Navy stone out.
Ooh, that is
that's
awfully close.
They might have to measure for that one if it comes down to these 2 stones. Now, Jasper, do you think you will be a part of college curling once you get to college?
I'd hope to be. I'm not sure what college I'm going to be at. I'm only a freshman in high school, but depending on where I end up, I might start something. I might, join one. At the moment, I'm looking to be probably at Michigan Tech for their railroad civil engineering program. Actually, I've always been very interested in that. Going to a summer camp for it this summer up there. Looking forward to that. But depending on where I am, you might be seeing me in a couple of years, 4 or 5 years, at Nationals for college here. Who knows? Maybe it'll even be in Midland at that point in time. I don't know. They rotate around and whatever.
Yeah, run it back to Midland. Navy taking their last shot on sheet C.
Of course, if we were back in Midland, that would become a conflict of interests for me, especially if I was a starter on the team, because I would be like, oh, I could go do commentating on this, just like the good old days, if I call them that. But it would be interesting. But we'll have to see what the future holds. Just going to roll out there.
Really close couple of stones there.
Yeah.
We got to see who takes it.
Vice is going to decide. Can't tell if they've signaled for a measure. Looks like they haven't, though. They've kicked the rocks away. And that yellow one looks like it's the one that scored. And they're shaking.
Like they're shaking.
They're shaking on that.
Shaking on sheet C. So Michigan Tech won and is on to the next stage.
The semifinals for them. All standing around in a circle there.
Congratulations to Michigan Tech, and good job to Navy for their outstanding performance as well. This was a really fun game to watch here in Midland, Michigan. Now we're going to be switching over to sheet B, Harvard versus RPI.
Thank you guys for suggesting sheet C. Wasn't even really paying attention to how many ends they were in there, so managed to catch the last couple of rocks there. Shaking on 7, too.
Really cute stone setup here. Looks like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it does. With an awfully big mouth, being the button, that is, if you look at it from the side there.
RPI currently sitting 1 in the house. They just threw a guard to sort of block the draw onto that stone.
That is correct. MTU 1.
Now on D, just as a quick audible commentary, looks like MIT is on their last rock. UW-Madison currently sitting 2, but you know that's a pretty big target there for a double. So if they can make the double and sit, then MIT is in a good position.
Oh, almost had that there. Final rocks, at least for the 7th end. We'll see what they're going to do here.
Some high fives for Madison there.
Their final rock, you said, though, yeah?
Yeah, they have 1 rock. They have 2 sitting. You know, if they get 3 here, then they are actually up 1 going into the 8th end.
Mr. Steinberg, you are welcome. We are enjoying spending our Saturday night like this. I'm spending my entire weekend doing this. But I am enjoying this, and I guess it kind of counts as resume building for me as well, but being only a freshman in high school here. Take a look at the close-up camera. Looks like they might just get a little tap there to put them at 4. Draw for 4 down there. We'll see if they shake or not. Only a 2-point deficit.
Oh, they're not going to shake. They're going to play this last end out.
Lots of clapping in order here for the warm room.
So we're coming back to B. Ooh, that changed some things up in the house here.
That does change some things up in the house.
Harvard currently sitting 1.
Wow. Quite the shot there.
Pretty well protected as well.
Yeah. We can take a look at that from the near wall camera here. Very well protected. It's going to be a hard takeout there. Going to have to throw that board weight at best, at the most there, to be able to get that. Spo 890 says apparently MTU Curling Club only started last year. That's what we've been hearing as well. I believe that Houghton had a separate curling club up there. I'm not sure if it was a one that they practiced at, but I believe there's 2 up there now. Some players representing MTU only started playing when the team started up last year. That's what we've been told as well over here. So a very strong performance by them overall here, making it past the first 2 rounds of elimination here.
Looks like RPI tried to come in here with maybe like a tap back into that yellow.
Not quite enough weight, though.
So on sheet D, score after the 7th is 9 UW-Madison and 7 MIT because of that, you know, big
4-point end, yeah.
4-point end. That was really big for them. That might have been what they needed to clinch the next spot in the playoffs here. Sheet A also on their last rocks.
Of the 7th end, not of the 8th end. I'll say that much, or at least I'll add that much.
Yep, score in sheet D is 9 Madison and 7 MIT. Oh, thank you in the chat. Copper Country Curling Club. MTU curls out of the Copper Country Curling Club. There is no other club in the area.
I thought there were 2 at home, so that's my bad on that one. Guess you can't trust everything you hear from your father, can you?
Well, thank you to Copper Country for
Oh,
supporting
gee,
the
them,
sport
actually.
of college curling.
It's actually the legit account as well.
We really appreciate your support
Yeah.
and watching on the stream with us. Natural Ice Club as
Oh,
well.
wow. That's cool. That is.
I've never played
cool.
on natural ice before.
As arena ice, it's just about as far as you can get from natural ice, I would assume here.
You know, you'll have to tell us in the chat, you know, what that experience is like.
I would assume it would be similar to dedicated ice like this. Almost had that rock there. Going very hard for line, they were. Only 2 rocks remain for each team here. But yeah, Natural Ice Club. That's interesting. I'd assume it would be similar, but yeah, maybe it has just the same difference as the arena ice does on players.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I would imagine there would have to be some like natural variations that, you know, appear in the ice.
right.
I'm not sure how that would compare as far as a curl goes.
As well as weight and that kind of thing, because I know you guys arbitrarily are going to be throwing heavy because
Yeah,
your ice is going to be slower versus ours. Maybe theirs is even faster or something like that.
I don't know. I'll have to ask them.
I think an email might be coming your way from Penn State personnel inquiring, or maybe just people here at our club in Midland. We appreciate you guys watching it tonight.
We're going to see what Harvard does here. They're currently sitting 2. And as a reminder, the Harvard RPI score is 5, Harvard 8 RPI. You know, they come in and sit 3 here. You know, they could tie going into the 8th end.
One rock remains here after this one. Pretty solid guard there. Guards up that line. Only 1 rock remains this 7th end on B. B lagging behind a little bit in terms of their speed going through their ends. Similar to dedicated, but a little slower. Oh, so okay. So it would be closer. So going from arena ice to natural ice would probably be right about the same then, I guess.
Yeah, I bet the weight would be similar that you'd be trying to achieve there. but perhaps a little bit more curl. Because like I said, we have pretty straight ice that sometimes bounces randomly off Zamboni lines.
Right.
Oh boy, looks like RPI coming in and
caught
hitting
that
the
one there.
guard there.
Final rock for the 7th end. 2 points for Harvard going into this. Does that put them ahead or does that tie them up?
They would be at 7 and RPI would be at 8. So they have to
Score 2 to win.
2 to win, 1 to tie and get an extra end.
9th end is going to be crazy tonight. Already late. Over to D here. Final few rocks in the 8th end. 4 remain for each. A lot more for A. We'll do our best to balance out each of the houses respectively in making sure that you guys see what's going on each one.
Looks like MIT is just curls behind the yellow Madison stone. MIT sitting 2, hoping to tie up this game and maybe get an extra end in here. Madison, of course, is going to try to take out that top red MIT stone and preserve their potential win here.
Mr. Hobbs, thank you so much for watching this live stream and all the others. I know you've been watching most of them, so thank you. And we will see you tomorrow for the semifinals, my friend.
So big movement on this last stone here. Few stones each for Madison MIT. So MIT is currently sitting directly on the button after some movement in the house. Good stone there by MIT, sort of matching that position on the tee line. Stones in parallel, if you will. MIT currently sitting 2. Madison trying to get the hit there. Madison gets the hit. They're now sitting on the top 4.
I'll give you guys a little bit of insight into Sheet A over here. Sheet A, only a few rocks remaining, 4 for each team, it looks like. RIT throwing at the moment. Basically clear house. Only 1 guard in play, about 3 on the left-hand side sweep line.
MIT coming in here to hit. Ooh, no.
They roll their own rock out, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. So their rock is still a shot rock, and they do have 1 other in the house. You know, if they could potentially draw again, which it looks like they're going to do. as a reminder, MIT has hammer in this end. And with that last big 4-ender being scored by Madison, so having hammer in the 8th end, definitely an exciting prospect.
Having hammer in the 8th end is probably one of the best things to have happen for your team.
You're definitely at an advantage if that's the case.
Especially if you're down.
Oof, Madison, really good stone there.
Looks like their rock is closer though. Maybe if only by a little bit.
They're sitting, not quite freezing on that red MIT stone. But you know, MIT has to be careful with the take here so that they don't hit their own stone out and lose the game. So it's Declan, MIT skips first. Hopefully achieving the take here. Really strong way out of the hack. They're sweeping. MIT gets the hit, does not take their own stone out. They are currently sitting 2. Both are sort of biting the forefoot at different angles. Madison probably looking for a double here, which would effectively mean that they would win the game. Now it looks like the Bowdoin RIT game finish up. Looks like they shook. Bowdoin has won at 9 with RIT at, if I can see here, 4. So Bowdoin 9, RIT 4. Bowdoin is on to the semifinals.
And good for them too. They've put up strong performances throughout.
Oh wow, on D they did not get the double. It is
dead on nose there.
potentially MIT's. If MIT gets this, then they will be tied. We'll have to see an extra end here. Great curling today. I see MIT sporting some new jackets this year. These sort of satiny silver bombers.
They are nice. Remind me of some movie I've watched has people they use hazmat suits. Old hazmat and fire suits are made of a material that looks very similar to that one.
Really? I don't think I know which movie you're talking about.
I think I thought of it because it was in TV shows that I've seen. I've watched a lot of Mythbusters when I was like 12 and 13. But when they like hazmat, highly hazardous chemicals here, as well as the fire, I think the like really high temperature fireproof suits are made of a material similar to that one. So.
Man, it's Declan's last shot.
It's the last shot
Let's see
for
what
8th
happens.
end here. We'll see if it's the last shot of the game. Look at the ice there. Dead center of the blue. Adrenaline really pumping here. This rock's going to have to be absolutely perfect for MIT to get that 2 points. Looks like it's going to have to go for weight here.
Stone
Might
was
be
light.
over curling.
Stone was light.
Stone was very light going into this. MIT only going to score 1 at the end of this end here. They're going to shake on it.
Madison has won on sheet D.
And they will move on to the semifinals tomorrow morning.
So the only game currently still on is Harvard RPI. Really tight game here.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
sitting at 7 Harvard and 8 RPI. One red RPI stone is currently sitting with a really clogged up area at the front of the house there.
Oh, wow. That might have actually just worked out there. Cuts down a point. Doesn't quite get in as far as they wanted it to there, but still a
There's
very
an open
solid
draw.
plan B. There is an open draw here for the last few rocks on B tonight.
RIT doing a little dance.
Keeping lively out on the ice,
Probably pretty cold out there.
especially in short sleeves as the skip. Oh, no, I did that wrong. Hopefully that's actually on the right sheet now.
You know, when I skip, I always have to wear, multiple layers.
Oh, yeah. As our teams come off the ice here. Lots of clapping in order. Looks like the draw is going to be just a little bit wide here coming in. Sit on the T line there.
Harvard has an opportunity here. If they come in and draw and sit on that red RPI shot rock there, they could potentially tie it up, if not win.
Which would be another a second upset if that's an actual thing that happens in curling. For Harvard, they already beat Minnesota in another close game on sheet A in the first round of the quarterfinals here, the first end of the quarterfinals. So pulling out another upset here would be big for Harvard, putting them in the semis.
Really strong sweeping calls here.
Oh my goodness, that gets in the house. They're going to try and sweep it out. It's going to stay in the 4-foot there.
that stone get
Absolutely
hit?
beautiful rock there.
That stone may have picked or gotten hit on something there.
It is sitting shot, though. That's about all that matters right now.
Harvard is sitting.
Might be going to a 9th end here tonight.
They're super excited. The warm room here, feeling electric.
Going hard for line here. Oh my goodness.
They hit. They hit.
They hit their own rock out of play there, but it sits on the button.
RPI sits.
RPI now sitting on so close
Harvard
to that
has
3
to
guard
come
on the
in.
center line there. Wow, close rocks here overall.
Harvard making their last shot. see if they go on and play a 9th end here on sheet B. What an exciting round of curling we're seeing here in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
both
both.
on draw 1 and draw 2. Some pretty close and exciting games. And even if the scores don't look like it, all the teams here are very passionate about curling, have a lot of talent, have a lot of grit. Congratulations to all the teams who made it to nationals this year. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, just barely ticking that. Oh,
Harvard
my
misses the
goodness.
shot. RPI is 1. RPI is going to the semis.
RPI going to move on to the semis. They're going to shake without even that final rock. Absolutely great quarterfinal games overall from every sheet, from both draws. Absolutely great games going on here. On that note, though, we're going to finish off. No other sheets going on here. We're going to end things out for Saturday, 3/8/2025, for the 2025 College National Championships here. I'd like to thank both of my commentators, the Skip or team something or other for...
That was one of the teammates from Navy.
Teammates
Sunny.
from Navy, and you are from
I'm
Penn
from Penn State. I'm Mallory from Penn State. Thank you so much to everybody in the live stream who has watched.
Of course. Especially those of you who are watching all day. I know there were a couple of you that were commenting and live all day. We thank every single one of you guys. Curling Club, we truly do appreciate the support, and we're looking forward to a very eventful day tomorrow. And until then, I have nothing else to report from here.